What's up, everybody? I want to introduce you to my brand new idea that I have been thinking of for a few months, and I am so happy that I'm finally launching it, and I hope you really enjoy it. Welcome to Unwrapped Reviews. Ever loved a movie so much you couldn't wait to own it? You tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, just anyone who would listen. Once it's released, you rush over to possess it, excited to relive the experience. But in the end, it only sits and collects dust. This time, I'll be unwrapping them. So Unwrapped Reviews, as you could see from, I guess, a little bit of the stock footage, as you will. It's not really stock footage, it's stuff that I've actually found of my collection of DVDs. What I'm doing is I buy a lot of stuff and I get excited about buying said movies because I've either haven't seen it or I've seen it and I really like it enough to support the production, the director, the actors, whatever. I want to support the movie, so I end up buying it. But then there's moments, many a times, where I never get around to watching it a second time, so it just sits there and collects dust in its beautiful plastic packaging. And I wanted to do this as a challenge for myself to start going through these movies that I've bought and that just stay unwrapped and untouched, because I'm just a horrible human being who just buys stuff and hoards them. So, I started this month, and I hope I want to continue to do these unwrapped reviews where you see me put the disc in and watch it and then talk about it, whether I've seen the movie or not, whether I've done a review of it or not, and we'll just reflect on it once more and see if my feelings have changed. So the first movie I have chosen is the fluffy movie Unity Through Laughter. Now, this movie is not really a movie that's in my collection, but it has been a movie that has been sitting in my room to be watched. This was a gift that I given to my Faja, who loves Fluffy. If you don't know who Fluffy is, it's a nickname for a Mexican-American comedian named Gabriel Iglesias. He goes by Fluffy. It's part of one of his jokes of fatness and being just a big person. He has the 5, or if you've seen later comedy specials where he has 6 level of fatness, where one of them is Fluffy. So the Fluffy movie is a comedy concert film that captures the onstage performance and inspirational success story of Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias. It's not much of a movie as it is a comedy special, but the beginning of the movie does start off with a love story with an actress playing his mother, meeting his father on the stage as a mariachi singer, and them falling in love and creating the beautiful son who is Gabriel Iglesias. And they kind of show a little bit of him as a child, of course an actor playing him as a child, and just being oh, your father is gone, he's with these other women or whatever, we don't need him, I'm going to raise you. And Gabriel has been very open about his story with having to be raised by a single mother and not having that relationship with his father and not knowing much about him. But he never really talked about it too much, but he was never afraid to talk about it. There's jokes about how his mother told him oh, you see the guy on the hot sauce bottle, that's your father, pretty much. That's what he does. He's a mariachi singer. And he's also very open about his own family with his girlfriend and his stepson, or who he's just adopted as his own, even though biologically they're not related, but they have very similar characteristics and background with their very broken relationship with their biological father. And he doesn't really like talk about this too much until the end of his set, where he talks about like what he would do if he ever like met his father, because he hasn't seen him in 30 years, and that his fans ask him about it as well. And he does go into that, and that part like really like personally touched me as someone who is adopted and didn't have much of a relationship with my biological father. So I really was, I really did enjoy that he opened up about that, and then there was a moment where his son like talked to him about it because his father wanted to reach out to him as well. The son, Frankie. So I really enjoyed that part, but of course that's like at the end of the set. But the rest of it is just mostly more of his usual comedy, where he talks about just life and being recognized and being a celebrity, and like being with Martine and people recognizing him and then like mistaking him as Machete, and he's not. And then of course talking about his fitness journey and like losing several pounds and trying to be healthy and not like have to deal with like battling with diabetes and other problems, just prolonging his life and just also giving his appreciation to his fans for supporting him for so long. Pretty much if you've seen other specials by Gabriel Iglesias, and in my opinion, I think all of his comedy stand-up specials are very rewatchable. Like every joke that he tells, like whether I've heard it 50 million times, they're still hilarious. And I feel like the Fluffy movie falls in that same category, as I could watch this like again and again and still find it amazing and still find it hilarious and still find it really inspiring. So I really enjoyed it. So fans of Gabriel Iglesias, or people who are familiar with him and never like went back and listened to more of his stuff, I think this is a good representation of his comedy and his just personality. Personally, I have seen Gabriel Iglesias live. I've seen him live 3 times in 3 different types of venues. The first time I saw him was in a really small comedy club in Houston called the Improv Comedy Club. This is when he wasn't as big and huge and popular as he is now, and my friends and I were able to meet him and talk to him, and I got one of my DVDs signed by him, and we also got to take a couple extra pictures with him, and one of my friends was a huge fan of his, so that was really nice. The second time I went to go see him was at the Toyota Center, which is maybe it wasn't the Toyota Center, it might be like a smaller venue, I think. It could have been, it was still quite a big venue, but not like super huge. But that experience was pretty fun too, although unfortunately my friend and I that went with me, we were a little late. So we missed a good chunk of the beginning of his set, but it was still fairly enjoyable. It wasn't as personal as the improv because it's a bigger venue, but I was very happy that he was getting more popular. And the last time I saw him was last year, which you could also see in my highlights of 2018, where my parents and I went to go see him at the One Size Fits All tour in Houston at the Toyota Center last year, where he filmed his Netflix special for it in Houston for both nights, so you can check that out on Netflix. I haven't rewatched it yet, but I look forward to checking it out. And no, you can't find me because I was not in like a seat that you could probably see most likely. But my parents really enjoyed it, and they were very thankful that we went. I unfortunately couldn't get the VIP that I really wanted to get for Faja, because I really want him to meet Gabriel because he's such a nice guy and he's great and fantastic, and I'll continue to be a fan of his. But he did enjoy the show, and he was really happy that he was able to go, and Maja was also very happy as well. And I also wanted a limited edition like towel, but they ran out of those. pretty much in short, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really good. It's really funny. I really loved it. I almost cried because of the father thing. But it really made me feel like good about myself and my relationship with my biological father. And I'm glad that like Gabriel was very trusting with his fans to open up about his story with his parents and stuff. And I wanted to like reach into the screen and hug him for going through everything. But definitely check it out. It's really good. It's very short and has a very high watchability, much like his other stand-up specials, and I really enjoy that. So I am glad that we bought it and that I got to watch it. Well, if it wasn't obvious, I do give this a 5 out of 5. It's very rare that I give a perfect score to a movie, and like loosely this isn't really like a movie, it's a comedy special that kind of has movie-ish vibes to it, but I still thought it was really, really good. I can't wait to check out like the next like DVD that I decide to like unwrap and unpackage and watch. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my face and hear more of my voice, for some reason I don't know, you can hit that subscribe button below and see more of my videos. I try to post at least once a week, or at least every now and then. And if you want to check out my videos a little earlier than everyone else and want to see our schedule on Muddy Cold the blog, you can join Patreon. I do post some really cool extra stuff, and I also give and buy a lot of extra stuff for my fans, because I really love you and appreciate you, and I like really am happy that you guys support me. Like, y'all are the best. Don't forget that. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this new little project that I'm doing with these Unwrapped Reviews, because I'm looking forward to unwrapping more DVDs and like reviewing them for y'all. Everybody take care, and I love you all. Peace.